I'll share a story with you all. When I first started my campaign, we have to go to these political endorsement meetings. There's several political action committees, and each one of them wants to interview candidates. And they typically sit you out in the hallway while they talk bad about you behind your back, right? And so I'm standing out in the hallway, and I meet this woman, an older woman, and she's like, who are you? And I said, I'm Joshua Gunn. She said, well, what are you going to do about crime? And I said, well, that's one of my most urgent issues. She said, well, let me make it more urgent for you. So she lives in East Durham, not too far from here, but on the east side of downtown. And she tells me a story about the fact that she sleeps on the floor every night. And so my first thought was she sleeps on the floor because she doesn't have a bed, right? She sleeps on the floor, she can't afford a bed, or she doesn't have a bed. She said, no, I have a bed. Her granddaughter and her sleep on the floor every night because they're scared that bullets are going to fly through their window, because almost every single night they hear gunshots on their street. She also tells me a story about a couple years ago. There used to be an officer that patrolled her neighborhood and would sit his car at the intersection of her street on Briggs and Ash in East Durham. But that officer's no longer there. So as we think about public safety, we have to think about what the city council can do about that. Earlier this year, our city council had the opportunity to provide our Chief Davis, with the resources that she needs to not only respond to the rise in violent crime, but respond to this growing population. Many of you said you just moved to Durham 3 years ago, and we're really happy to have you. But as the city grows, we need to properly resource our city departments to ensure that we're able to manage this growing city. And one of those city departments is public safety, and the police chief in particular. So she asked for 72 additional officers. Her reason for asking for 72 additional officers was simple. We're spending too much money on overtime, and officers are overworked. It's impacting their ability to respond effectively to crime, but also impacting their ability to live lives and be well and be good servants to the community. So city council said no to the 72 officers. Our city manager came up with the compromise that he said would work, and that was 18 officers. He said, what about 18? Our city council said no. So our Mayor Schul, said, man, we got to figure something out. Let's come to a compromise. So he asked for 9 officers, and any guess on what city council said? No. They said no. We have a Councilwoman Johnson, who was asked, okay, Councilwoman, if you don't want 18 officers, how many would you compromise? How many could we get to make sure that we're responding to the chief's request, and we're doing all the other things that you want to do, like paying the city workers a living wage, which I agree with. But I think to tell people that they have to choose between a living wage and a safe community is disappointing and frustrating. We can have a community that pays people a living wage and where we're safe. Councilwoman Johnson's response to that was 0. She's not willing to add 1 additional officer and fulfill Chief Davis's request. Now bear in mind, Chief Davis is a nationally recognized police chief that is transforming the way we police our community. And we are experiencing a 20% rise in violent crime and double in the homicide rate. And we have a council that consistently says they won't give her the resources they need. So we'll talk more about my economic development strategy, which focuses on sort of all the causes and root causes of crime. But I think we also have to address the symptoms. And so the most urgent priority for me is public safety and giving our police force the resources that they need to keep all of us safe. I look forward to talking about more. Thank you.